Live your dream. And I guarantee you some of your medical conditions will disappear. Some of the issues and the stress in your relationships will disappear because repressed dreams become poison.
Mm.
And you are poisoning yourself. Because every time you see somebody living your dream, you're going to hate them.
Life is like a basketball game. Sometimes you're up, other times you're down. Opponents and adversaries coming at you left and right. However, it's not the challenges you face that define you. What defines you is how you play the game. And I play to win. Welcome to my world, Carlton's World.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of KARLTON'S World. We are in for a treat because we have a very special guest here joining us. She is an actress, she's an educator, and you guys recently saw her on Divorce in the Black, and now you see her in Beauty in Black. I present to you Miss Ursula O. Robinson. How you doing today, Miss Robinson?
Yay! I'm doing great. Thank you, Carter, for having me on. I'm enjoying all of this. I appreciate the opportunities that have been given to me with all of this going on. Bruh, 3 months, two different streaming platforms. Number one.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
I say thank you, Mr. Perry. Most of all, thank you, God.
Okay. Okay. Well,
To
first of all,
God be the glory. Come on, God. Come on through,
yes.
Jesus.
Come on, come on. Well, congratulations to you. Yeah, like you said, first, Divorce in the Black, #1 Amazon, and now we have Beauty in Black, #1 on Netflix.
Yeah.
Listen, that's definitely God, and like you said, to God be the glory. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
Congratulations to everybody that's a part of what you guys got going on. So that's awesome. But thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to talk to me. Because not only are you acting, but you also are an educator. So it's like you do a lot. You do a lot.
I do. I
Yeah.
do. But all of it's a part of me. So not only do I do the education, but I'm also crafty. I like making DIYs. I do weddings. I decorate. Anything about a party. I'm all about a party.
Okay.
I love a party, so I do a whole lot of different things. I'm also a playwright. Also, yeah, I was trying to say, yeah, I do everything but sing, and I'm working on that.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
taking voice classes now.
I love it. I love that. I love that. Before we get into Beauty in Black, you did want to discuss, like you said, you are a playwright. So you did. So
Right.
you have a play that you have coming
We have
up.
a play that's coming up, and it's November the 14th through the 17th at South Carolina State University. I am a fully tenured, full professor at South Carolina State University. I can't get nothing else but emeritus. So I'll go through all of the bells and the whistles. And I wrote a play called Thirsty. What satisfies your desire can kill your soul.
Mm.
And it's based on some stuff that happened to me when I was in college. In college, I went to Shaw University, and we were down the street from downtown. I could put it nicely. We were down the street in the neighborhood in an urban area, and a couple of blocks from the school, I met this dude who was a drug dealer and fell in love. And based upon that story, this play is about what happens when broken people try to fix themselves with other broken people.
Mm. Mm. Okay. That sounds like a very good story. Honestly, though, people like it. What I love about like it's real, right?
Yeah,
And if people relate to that, there's probably somebody that's going to be in the audience who can relate to your story and can get some encouragement and get something from that can help better their lives. So
right.
thank you for
Definitely.
thank you for sharing. And I hope you guys, if you are able to, please go and support. If people want more information about it or want to get tickets, how can they do that?
They can contact me at South Carolina State University. 803-536-8815 is the number to the office. Or you can email us. We have an Eventbrite page, so you can go to Eventbrite and go ahead and get your tickets right now.
Awesome.
And it's
Y'all,
thirsty. It's thirsty to play. So you
awesome.
can look it up, and it's in Orangeburg, South Carolina. Come out and see it, honey. Because if you like sizzling stories, oh, this got some sizzle and some twists and some twist sizzles. This is a twist with the sizzle in the middle of it. And if
um,
you've been watching Beauty and Black, oh, I know you love some sizzle.
well, we definitely gonna get into it for sure. I also want to give a shout out to an actor that I've worked with that's one of your students, Nick Reese.
Yes, Nick. Yes,
Yes.
and
So
he's in the show.
okay,
He's actually
okay.
in the show. Yes,
So,
he
so
is.
what is it? So what is it like working with Nick? 'Cause like I said, like I told you before we started recording, I've known Nick since he was a child, and he's grown into this articulate young man. He's very talented. He can sing his butt off. So
Yes,
like, what is it like for you
yes.
working with Nick?
Oh, good. Nick is great. He's really quick on his feet, and he really the character he's playing is a deacon in the church, and who a deacon in the church who ain't no good deacon.
Okay.
A deacon who dunking. So yeah, and he plays that very well. Nick is lovely. He's a nice young man. And like you say, he is very talented. I have seen he just did a show with the university choir, and they were singing selections from Hamilton. Oh man, it was beautiful.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
I'm proud to see him continue to grow, not only just grow as a man, but grow in the arts. It's great when you're able to see somebody again that I've known literally since he was a little boy, and like to see him grow as an
Right.
artist. It's a beautiful
Right.
thing to
I
see for
love it.
sure.
Right. And that is true. I love that too. And definitely he has grown. And hopefully after this he'll be even more growner. He'll be even more into his artistry. I think he is already a wonderful artist. And I believe that as he grows, he'll be even more wonderfuler.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm sure under your direction and your guidance, I'm sure definitely he's
Honey,
gonna be one of the greats. So we're definitely looking forward
you're
to
very
seeing.
gracious.
Yes.
But I don't work by myself. So I have two adjunct professors who work with me, but they act like full-time professors. But they are helping him, Andre Minkins and Gerald Hunt, and they are definitely helping to shape and mold these young dreamers. My duty is to make sure that you have the tools to go out into the world and to live your dreams. Because so many times artists get a training or education and get a degree, and then they leave and they go, what now?
Hmm.
And so now my kids don't have to what now, because I'm telling you, this is how you get into the industry. Part of the purpose of me going, one is to first of all live my dream, right?
Hmm.
But then also two, to be able to bring back information to them to show them how. Because if you want to become an accountant, you after you leave school, you're gonna apply, right? But what do you do when you want to be an actor?
Right.
What do you want to do when you're an artist? Or those ways, the ways to success are not straight paths.
Mm.
And so I want to be able to tell my students, these are your options. And before I've been able to tell them, but let me tell you what worked for me and what did not work for me. But these are still your options, because everyone doesn't enter into this playing field the same way.
Right.
So you entered into the playing fields from several different areas, right? So the more you have that you can use, the better off you are, I believe, in this industry. My agent, Tom with J Purvis Talent, he said it to me this way. He said, in this business, it's like a buffet. And the more things that you eat on the buffet, which really is the more things that you do and you participate in, the better your chances are of reaching the goals that you have set for yourself.
Hmm. That's a,
So
that's a
yeah,
word.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a
and I was like,
word.
sir, that's great. Because I love a buffet.
think we all do.
Yeah, I like variety, and that's
Yes.
exactly what you can have in this industry. You could do everything. The first time I was on the set of the Righteous Gemstone, excuse me, and they had someone from the art department. I was like, well, I wonder what the art department does on a movie or a TV series or whatever. And they had rented out a mansion for this particular scene, and they had scraped the wall or did something. So the person from the art department came over there with paint and a heat gun and covered up the scratch and blended it so that you didn't even know it had been there. It was like perfect, a
Mm.
perfect blend, a perfect match. And I was like, wait a minute, what? So you making this good check, blending paint and making sure things are right. So I'm just saying to myself, man, there's so many things you can do in this industry. Who would have thought that knowing the color wheel and how to put colors together would give you a job?
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true. That's true.
It's so many things. So the grip and the the what's the good boy or the key grip and all these other different things. There's opportunity for you if you want to be in this industry. There is. You don't always have to be in front of the camera, and that's what I'm trying to get my students to understand. Yes, you may want to be in front of the camera because I love it. But what do you do when you're not in front of the camera? How can you pay those bills and do those stuff until you get to the point where you can be just doing the work and the work paying you?
Mm.
The more you know, the more you can go.
Absolutely.
You can go places and do things. You, for instance, films, shows, podcasts, interviewing. You got a lot. There may be stuff called that you're doing I don't even know about. Listen, you are so varied. But think about this: where would you be if you had just stuck to one thing,
That's true.
right?
You're exactly
Like
right.
because all those things work together for you.
Mm-hmm.
They all go hand in hand. This feeds this. And it's the same way in my life. Teaching feeds my artistry. My artistry feeds my teaching. And then in that circle, there are other things that go with it. Because as long as I'm really doing something creative, I'm good. Because I just can't, I'm not a number. I just couldn't sit down and count numbers all day
Mm-hmm.
or do something. I guess if I was taking those numbers and making a collage with them or something, but I had to do something creative and I had to do something that gets my creative mind and my juices stirring, or I'll be right asleep within that first 2 hours.
I heard
I'm take a nap.
that. I hear you. I hear you. Well, speaking of interviews, because like I
Mhm.
said, you joined me on Celebrate Black Excellence.
Yes.
That's actually where we first met in person.
Hmm.
And we talked about your role in divorcing the black.
Yes.
And then you shared with me that I said, well, for those who haven't checked, make sure y'all check out the interview. Go to WJBF.com, put in Celebrate Black Excellence, put in Ursula O. Robinson. The interview will pop up. Very great interview.
Right.
And so, but you shared with me that you had something coming up.
So, what are you working on next that you can discuss?
That I can discuss?
Yes.
Coming up sometime this fall will be a television series with Tyler Perry called Beauty in Black.
Okay.
And I'll be playing a character on there.
Okay.
And that should be coming sometime this fall on Netflix.
Okay.
Baby, when I tell you that I was not prepared at all, because
Not at
listen,
all.
because let's be honest, I didn't like your character in Divorcing the Black, right?
Oh.
I didn't like her, but then I was like, oh, this is a whole new character. We got Delinda here, and I'm like, oh, she done just took my dislike to a whole new level. Like, I love me some Miss Ursula now. I love Miss Ursula, but these characters, listen. Okay, So let's get into it.
Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into it.
So Beauty in Black, for those who haven't seen this on Netflix, I'm gonna give you a brief summary. I'm trying not to spoil it, but I kind of gotta spoil something so it'll make sense. So we have Kimmy, who is the main character. Kimmy, she wants to do better in life. She basically works at a strip club. She's tired of doing that. She owes a debt to
Yes.
Jules.
Yes.
Jules is this multi. I'm not again. You have to watch the show. Jules has so many his hands in so many things on this
Yes.
show.
He does.
Played by the great Charles Malik Whitfield.
Yes.
Was such a wonderful actor.
Yes, he is.
So basically, Kimmy owes a debt to Jules with her friend Rain and also with Angel. So they all did something, and now they owe a debt to Jules.
Yes.
So that's all you need to know for this part. So Kimmy wants to do better in life. She goes to this convention thing. Mallory, who is the head of Beauty in Black. So but basically Kimmy is aspiring to be like Mallory. And Mallory and her family, they got a whole little thing going on too. So we can skip all that because but y'all gotta watch it. It's a whole situation. So this is where Miss Ursula comes in. Miss Ursula plays Delinda. Delinda works at the strip club. Right. And so basically Delinda and Body are two mean bad words. They are so horrible. But basically, so let me ask you this. So is she like the den mother? Like she's the house mother? Okay.
Yes, house mother, right. Actually the club is called Delinda's.
Oh, okay.
It's my club.
Oh, got you.
It's my club, although I don't run it, but it's my club. It has my name on it.
Got you. Okay. So I didn't know that. Or maybe I missed it. I don't know. But okay, cool. So basically, like I said, guys, Delinda, so now I know Delinda owns the club. It's her club. She's running it. Well, she's quote unquote running it. And then
once they see it, they'll understand why we say that.
Right. And then Body is I guess
my protege, my sidekick.
Second in charge.
Yes.
I'm gonna say quote unquote second in charge. So and then like I said, so they're basically running it's a unisex strip club because it's men and women there as well. So and like I said, Kimmy's one of the strippers, and they are so horrible to this girl. Like it's so mean. It's so mean. So Miss Ursula, I want to talk to you because again, when I talk to you about Divorcing in the Black, I asked you what surprised you. I want to ask you the same question for this. What surprised you when you got the scripts for Beauty in Black? I need to know what was like the most shocking thing when you read this script.
I don't know. I really don't. I can't really say that anything really shocked me. When I got it, I was like, "Ooh, this juicy." and I actually just walked right into it and gave it, did what I do. And I loved it when I looked at it. I was like, oh, this is good. This is kind of juicy. This is gonna be real good.
I was gonna ask you because a lot of actors, they say they don't watch their own stuff, like they don't watch their performances. And I was gonna ask you, did you watch? So you watched Beauty in Black?
Okay. Yeah, I watch myself now, like after production and everything, and do it. Yeah, watch it. And and I was like, ooh, that girl did some stuff, honey. Did she? That girl did some things. I was like, ooh, yeah, honey. I enjoyed it. Let me just be 1000% honest with you.
Give it to me.
I had a great time on set. I know people like, oh, what are you trying to say? I had a good time. Exactly what I'm saying. First of all, the Tyler Perry Studios, awesome people. And my castmates, awesome people, dynamic people, wonderful people. Of course, Mr. Perry, always wonderful. And just everybody was wonderful. And so we actually spent more time filming this than we did Divorce in the Black.
That was
So
my
I
next.
got to
That was
spend
gonna be
more
my
time. Yeah,
that was gonna be
I
my
got to
next
spend
question to
more
you. Yeah,
time. Yeah,
yeah,
I spent more time. So while I was there, we became like a family.
got you.
Just working with each other and hanging out with each other when we're not working and everything. And it was just beautiful. It was a beautiful experience in that I met wonderful people. We had lots of laughs. We worked together, and it's like you put us in the trenches or whatever, and we found commonality, and we found ways in which to make this thing work and to bring you guys. Because, like, sometimes you can look at a TV series and be like, oh, well, this person stands out or this person stands out. But I'm working with a group of people where everybody is standing out. Okay, and you saw it. It was like, there's a lot of great acting going on in here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's some people, some great actors and stuff, and you're seeing them in different light. Like when you see with Richard Lawson and Debbie Morgan, that scene, woo!
And that was actually one of my favorite scenes in the series when they were in the hospital.
Yes,
For me, of course, the acting is with those two. They're veterans. The acting is top notch. But for me, it was the lighting. The lighting was so beautiful on their
yes,
skin, and just the way it was. The
yes.
cinematography of it all
Come
was
on,
great.
filmmaker. Come on, filmmaker. Go ahead. Mhm.
Yeah, I cannot. But yes, it was beautiful. Like just that scene
Yes.
that was stood out to me. That was definitely
It did.
it was
Definitely,
good.
definitely beautifully shot.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the scenes, beautiful scenes and stuff. Beautiful scenes are the most horrible things happening to people. Because I wasn't on set for everything, right? So I'm seeing stuff new like everyone else.
Yeah.
And man, in some scenes, I was like, what? Although I have read every script, I know the storyline, I know what happens, I know where this comes and that comes, but to see it come alive,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my gosh. They they really took these words and made them life. Man, some of those scenes I was like, what? What in the world
Yeah.
is that? How does that even happen? But this is the reality as I talk to someone who deals with domestic violence situations,
Mm-hmm.
and they offer help and stuff to people. And this is what they said to me. It's like, Ursula, this is real.
Mm.
There are people who are trapped like that for real. So
Mm.
people think it's a sensationalism and civilization and everything, but there is some realness into what Mr. Perry put out there, because there are people out there who live this life and are trapped.
Mm. Mm.
And I think that bigger thing, because the theme is about survival. And I think that here you have, he puts this girl who's at the bottom and this girl who's at the top. And how do we get them to meet? How do we make this happen? And the bottom girl and the top girl both are what? Broken, messed up, had things done to them, and they're both hurting and trying to survive.
Mm.
And they what? End up on the same level.
Yeah. Y'all definitely have to tune in. We're gonna y'all gotta tune in, and then
You
like I
got to
said,
watch it.
and then we get part two in the spring.
Yeah.
So
Let me just tell you, you're gonna I've had some people clutch their church pearls, and I had some people, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I had some people call me up and said, respectfully, B, and put all the extra syllables to it. And I was like, yeah, I said it a lot in this particular. I said it a lot. I think that somebody put a little meme out there talking about all Ursula Robinson want to do is call somebody a B.
like
I
like
like, yeah, well, my character, Delinda, she does. The,
Like I said, Delinda and Body, I was like, they need to be bodied, cause who chop? Yeah, like I said, y'all gotta watch it. Y'all gotta watch it. But superb performance from you, Miss Robinson.
thank you.
Like I said, I feel like we only met once in
Right.
person, but I feel like I know you, and I just like I said again, just I'm like you really played that character because this is not Miss Robinson, obviously. She is playing this character. So like I just want to say, good job to you, congratulations to
Thank
you.
you.
I have a
Thank
question
you.
for you.
Okay.
Because you delivered one of the most talked about scenes in Divorce in the Black. Like people talk about that scene, and again, you got to watch the movie to know what I'm talking about. Did the process for you getting this role on Beauty in Black? Did they see you and it was like, oh, because I know sometimes when I was filmmaking or doing
Mhm.
my series and stuff, I would have an actor come in, audition for a particular role. They do it, they kill it, dynamite, and I'm working on something else. I'm like, you know what? I think you will be great for this role as well. Did that happen with you as far as people saw you, the casting saw you in Divorce in the Black, and it was like, oh, we need her to play this role on Beauty in Black,
Right.
or did you have to go through the audition process
No, I went through
like
the
normal?
audition process.
Okay,
Yes, I went through the audition process, but I don't know. I'm not in, I can't be in anyone's mind. But I will tell you this that when I went for because we did a callback, in-person callback.
okay,
So when we did the in-person callback and when I looked around the room, this character is in her 50s. The
mm-hmm.
character description says in her 50s, kind of rough. She doesn't particularly care for people being late and does stuff. So when I came to the callback, I was looking for people my age.
Mm.
And I was like, well, there's nobody here my age. And then, of course, my friends, like, oh, because you got the role. Where's because it's yours? I was like, yeah, I don't claim it. I mean, I claim it, I name it and claim it. But when I signed the documents, that's the end for me, right? When I signed the documents,
Right,
oh, I'm walking in faith the entire time.
right.
But let me tell you, I wait to sign something. And then I like, that's when I know it's final, because then, even then, nothing is final. But so I wait until then because I was like, oh my gosh, where are the people? All it was these young girls around me and good looking guys and stuff. And I was like, great dog in the morning. This all right. And then I didn't know. So that's about the only clue I could give you that they may have already considered or thought about me in
Mm-hmm.
some kind of way. I don't know, but I am thankful that I got here. Definitely do that, and it's good to know that Mr. Perry thought enough of not only just me because it's 5 people from Divorce in the Black that are in Beauty in Black.
Mm-hmm.
Janet Wallace, Richard Lawson, Debbie Morgan, Taylor Polidor, and Ursula O. Robinson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and I was like, we're just like this core group. And we came into this, and I don't know if this was intentional or it just I don't know how it happened. I don't know why, but I thank God I'm in the mix. I don't know why the cake is good, but the cake is good. So I don't know how the mixation happened, but I am thankful that I am in the mixation. And I love working with Mr. Perry. I love working. I think he has great ideas, so creative, and working on set and doing some of the scenes, some of the stuff that we do. It's kind of crazy. Oh man, wait till y'all see some of this, man. You see the second part.
Lord. Lord, Lordy,
That's
Lordy.
all I'm gonna say. I'm just leaving the second part. If the beginning had all this twizzleization, which is twisting and sizzle together, is twizzleizations, then imagine what part two is gonna
You teasing us there.
have.
Well, we'll be waiting and looking forward to part two that's coming out
Yes,
in the spring
yes.
of next year. I want to talk about real quick the red carpet. You look, first of all, you look fantastic.
Oh, thank
All
you.
your pictures all the pictures and videos you shared on your Instagram page. How was the event? How was everything?
It was beautiful. It was, I mean, it's only my second red carpet event in my life. And it was even better than the first one. It was wonderful. And the people in my life have put in requests to be my plus one. So I'm like, hold on, wait a minute now. I'm trying to get married. I gotta do some things for my potentials. But the rest of my support team and stuff, no, we going. I'm going because everybody wants this red carpet, go to the red carpet experience. Why? Because it's wonderful. It's the lights and the people, your turn to get in the dudes, before the camera. It's just fun. It
Yeah.
was just a great time. And we laughed and we had such a good time at the after party. And they served some good food and we had a great time and we got to have conversations and stuff. It was like a family reunion
Mm,
because I had spent like a month with these people already.
right.
And we were eating together and talking on set, dancing, having a good time, going out together. So it was like, hey, it was like homecoming.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so it was beautiful. I enjoyed it. If you get a chance to go to a red carpet, it may not be in celebration of you, but go. Because for me, the getting dressed and getting before the people to answer questions and enjoying watching yourself on screen and getting a feedback from people in person and everything, it can't be beat. It's beautiful. But this time, what I decided to do for the red carpet was to showcase my students.
Okay.
So the dress that I wore was made by one of my former students when she was a student here, and the dress is 20 years old and it's still together. I have gotten in the dress sometimes when maybe I shouldn't have, but I had to do some little nips and tucks. But yes, Kelly Jolly, she now works at Dollywood. She's a ukulele lady. She decided to go with her musical career, and so she's great. She's a good not only does she do the ukulele, but she's also a jazzist, a
Okay.
jazz soloist. And she comes down to Orangeburg every year at Christmas, um, and they do a little concert for Christmas. So she created that. My makeup artist was a former student, Dabrika Clyburn, and so she lives in Atlanta and she does that stuff. And I was like, wow. And the person who was my stylist was a former student who was a great dance person and an actress and everything. And now she's a model and a stylist and everything. So I guess my history or whatever, but I really wanted to showcase my students to let the world know that not only have I been blessed with the gift of acting, but I've been blessed with the gift of wonderful students and dreamers who are living their dream.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm sure, like I said, as we spoke before when we did Celebrate Black Excellence, again, I want to speak the same sentiment. I'm sure they appreciate you for what you are pouring into them. And it's also inspirational for them to see someone, like you said, someone who is living out their dreams as well. You as you were teaching, you were also living out your dream and doing what you want to do as well. So it's inspirational for someone like for them to see and for someone like me to see as well. So I
Mhm.
definitely appreciate you for what you're doing, not just as an actress, as an educator, but as someone who is inspiring. You're inspiring people. So thank you for what you're
Mhm.
doing. We definitely
Oh,
appreciate it.
thank you, Carlton. I appreciate that.
No problem.
It's
No problem.
very natural to me. Very natural to me.
Yes.
I tell them that when I leave here and I go and do shows or do the things that I do, I'm really going gathering information and I'm bringing it back to you. I'm bringing it back. So when you could carry on and do the work and stuff, because we still have work to do when I'm not here. And I have destiny helpers, as I call them, who help me with taking care of my students. But my students step up to the plate, and they have done a lot of things. And but I also not just work with the students here. I work with the young people in my church, and so my church is very supportive. I know some people say, "Well, all that cussing you did," yes, very supportive of my
Listen,
church,
but here's the
Spiritual
thing.
Foundation Ministries, because they're like, because my pastor like, she's an actress. That's what
Right.
actors do.
That's what I'm about to say. Like I said,
Right,
there's a difference between the person and the character.
right, right.
So yeah, that's where we at.
That's where we're at, and they're very supportive. And so my team consists of some of the members from my church. My hairstylist is from my church. My assistant and travel partners, both of them are from my church. My local makeup artist is from my church. Yeah, so I mean they're really supportive. And then I have just a circle. I've been in this particular area for going on 26 years. So I have a circle that was already created for me. So when everything started happening, thankfully they were able to help me pick up pieces and put things together and to be there for me. So I'm thankful for that. And I have my students. Sometimes my very first booking, one of my students was my reader and helped film me and everything. And I take them with me. And whatever I can give to them so that they can go out and live their dream. It's so frustrating to want something and not know how to get it.
Absolutely.
And I don't want anyone to go through that. One of my coaches, Christine Horn, has put together I think is the first time I've ever seen someone give you a pathway that you can walk through to get to where you need to get to. And she's put together that. But I have another coach, Arisha Connor Frierson, who you may know, and another coach called Kennedy. And the information that they have given me has shown me so much that the pathway that you want to take to get to something in this industry, it can be varied, but you got to move and do something. Because as I say, nobody's coming to knock on your door, baby, to find you unless they know something about you. So they may knock on your door if they see your Instagram post or if they see this. That's door openers too. But the real door opener is putting yourself in the place where they're looking for people. So they may not be riding through your neighborhood. I think people used to say Antoine Fisher. Remember that Denzel Washington saw him. It's like, yeah, you're Antoine Fisher. But I think there's more to the story than that. Like he was just in Kroger shopping and saw a young man, said, "That's Antoine Fisher." I don't think it really happened kind of that way, but I don't know where I heard the story, but I've heard several different versions of it. But the idea being that someone could just walk past you in the grocery store and say, "I'm going to make you the star of a major movie." How often does it happen? Not very often. But how often do you put in an audition request, get an audition, and then you get the role, and then people celebrate you? That happens all the time. So when we can be realistic about the approach to this thing, because a lot of times people have unrealistic expectations about the industry and about becoming famous and about doing these different things to get your name out there. I can say to you, go about doing it the right way. Stop hoping and wishing. I had a young lady who never wanted to get on stage, never wanted to do this stuff, but just kept saying, "I just want someone to see me and put me in their movie." And I realized that I had them same kind of hopes. I'm teaching and stuff. I'm hoping somebody come through South Carolina State and see me. And I was like, "Miss Robinson, that's very unrealistic." That's very unrealistic. Put in the work. That's all I'm saying. Put in the work and you'll see the results. Because a lot of times people just want magic. And even magic is not magical.
That's
If you
true.
can, if you can figure that out, you'll get it later. 5 days from now, you go, because magic is not magic,
Listen,
right?
I already got it. I already is there.
Yes. And working with my students also really propelled me to be able to go back and to live my dream, because I said I was doing an interview with someone, with Christine Horn, and this came to me, it's like, how dare you provide the fuel, the direction, the support for other people to live their dreams and not live your own. Many people do it, but Ursula Robinson did.
But you kind of spoke throughout, but I want to kind of just summarize it here. For people who want to get into the industry,
Mm-hmm.
What encouraging word could you give someone? Because I always want to end like my interviews with some type of encouragement for people who may be watching or listening. So what encouraging word could you give somebody who wants to become an actor or actress, or just want to be in the industry, period? Like what words of encouragement could you give somebody?
Training is important. I have several degrees, but I took classes. I teach, but I still take classes. When I first started this, I thought I didn't need no class, because guess what? I didn't need no class because I got degrees. I've been acting since I was a kid. So it was not the acting that you need the training for sometimes. Sometimes it's the information on how to get into the industry. Do you know what websites they use that are legitimate for casting? Do you know what you do once you get on set or once you leave set? Do you understand the paperwork? Do you, because there is so many different components to this thing. You are the product. You are selling yourself.
Mm.
If you got issues with you, you're going to have issues with your marketing. Doesn't mean you got to get your life together. It just means you got to be clear about who you are and
Mm-hmm.
what you're selling. And once you get clear about that, you take those classes, you get that training, you can go out there and you can start to do things. My methodology that I teach my students, because this is what worked for me, start out doing background work. You just need a look. And then, okay, that person's gonna look good, that's gonna look good. They got an interesting face. That means you could get on the set and you can see how they work on set.
Mm-hmm.
Look and talk to other people. Let me tell you, those the background people in Atlanta gave me a whole education. And a lot of them, because a lot of the sets that I worked on, the background people were African American, and they taught me how to make these meals last, how to avoid camera, when to look at the camera, what a martini shot was. All this stuff I learned, and it was training, on the job training, but I also took classes so that I didn't stay as a background. I started to get lines. So I started doing background, then I was featured background. Then
Mm-hmm.
I started getting my first SAG booking. I booked me and one of my students. Can you believe that? Me and one of my students, after taking a class with Christine Horn, learning how to create environments on camera, got me the audition, got me the role. So training is very important. And a lot of times we think as actors and sometimes musicians, we don't need training. Yeah, you need. Talent can be a trap,
Mm.
because you can think you're so talented that you don't need training. And that is not necessarily true. So your training can come from someone else, or you can do the research and train yourself. One of my coaches, Carl Kennedy, studies things, understands stuff. He has a knowledge about movies and things. So when he looks at scripts, he is pulling from the knowledge from his experience and his education. Your training doesn't have to be formal, but you got to have it.
Mm.
I would say for anything, and it's never too late. That would be my second message. I am writing a book on how to live your dream, because a lot of people don't know how to do it. I have 4 or 5 different jobs, but I'm also a professional working actress. How do you do that, Miss Ursula? I learned how to do the things that I need to do within a small time framework and to build myself up over time and to make things happen. And when I get my book out to you, you're going to be able to take 5 minutes a day and begin to work on your dream. How many of you want to wake up 10 years from now still wishing and desiring that dream? You don't have to. In this environment, I don't care who you are. If you remember the lady from Wakanda, she was the older lady.
Black Panther,
And
yeah.
that was yeah, and that was her, I forgot her name. That was her first job. She was like 90, right? She was 80, 90. And this was her first acting gig. You can't tell me it's never too late. I started at, I'm not gonna tell you my age, but after 35. And guess what? Look where I am. Look what God is doing. It is never too late to chase your dream. Many of you laid down your dreams because you had kids, you had bills, you had problems. So you got a job that you don't particularly care for, that you're doing, and you're going out there to work that job to get the bills paid. When now the kids are gone, you may still have issues. You may still have bills, but what are you going to do? Spend the rest of your life going to a job that you hate to make sure that you pay those bills? No. Live your dream. And I guarantee you some of your medical conditions will disappear. Some of the issues and the stress in your relationships will disappear because repressed dreams become poison. And you are poisoning yourself. Because every time you see somebody living your dream, you're going to hate them. Because they're doing what you wouldn't do. And you could throw the hate at me because I'm doing it. If you want to throw hate at me, it's good because I already got my shield up, honey. It's going to bounce back and hit somebody else. Because people will throw hate at folks who are doing what they want to do. But you don't understand the reason why you're hating me is not because I've done something to you, but because I have made you realize that you have failed your own self. You have failed the little girl or little boy inside of you that has desires and hopes and wants and dreams. And you have taken that and you have repressed it because you can't do it. You think you can't do it, or it's too much, or it's too this, and you talked yourself down. Honey, get up. It is time to get up. Right now, the world is in a place where you can rise up and be an entrepreneur. You can be an actor. You can be anything that you want to be right now. It's not like when I grew up. When I grew up, this industry was hard to get into. And in my opinion, I thought they were looking for pretty people, people who looked a certain way. Now people want interesting faces, character faces. I'm what they call a character actor. So other people may say it different. Some people call it a utility actor or what it, whatever. I'm getting jobs. God is allowing me to be booked, and you can be booked too. I would like to shout out to some of the women that I admire.
Go
They're
ahead.
out there. I don't want to call out all of their names, but you know who you are. I've been Denise, Miss Denise, Miss Gail, Dawn by now. All these people who are out here doing the work, and I admire them so much. Let me just tell you, if you are over 50, over 45, and you think that you can't get into the industry, it's a lie.
Listen, and like I said, the biggest thing I definitely took away is definitely it's never too late, and I want everybody to make sure that if you're watching or listening, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be in the industry, whatever your passion is, whatever fuels you, whatever your dreams are, it's never too late.
Never too late.
So but you got to get out there. You got to put in the work.
Right.
You got to put in the work.
Definitely. And so what can people do to get started? Go ahead and write a vision for your dream. Very first thing. You don't need anybody to push and pull you to get that done. Sit down with yourself and write down what you want.
The word says
Clear
write
about it.
the word says write the
Come
vision, make it
on.
plain.
That's the word. That they may what? Read it and run with it.
Absolutely.
So write your
Absolutely.
vision.
Yeah.
If you write your vision and then send me a text. I'm not giving you my cell phone number, but text me on social media and say, "Hey, Ursula, I did it. I got a vision."
Speaking of,
Yes. Okay. Yes. I'm
speaking of,
sorry.
no, you're good. Speaking of, can you give everybody your social media information for people who may want to follow you
Yes.
and follow your journey or get more encouraging words from you?
Okay. Good. So you can follow me on TikTok. I'm at Lady U Drama or Ursula O Robinson, and I'm Ursula O Robinson on Facebook and on Instagram, and on Snapchat I'm at Lady U Drama. I
Awesome.
don't know how you add people on Snapchat, but if you don't have their phone number, but I have very interesting friends on Snapchat. I don't know how I met these people.
Listen, you listen. You don't got more. You got more experience than I do. I don't do the Snapchat. I don't know nothing about that. I tried it. It just wasn't for me. I was like, you know what? I'm a peace out on this.
Okay. Oh, and on X and on Twitter is at Ursula O Robinson also.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Ursula O. Robinson. Miss Ursula, thank you so much for taking the time out to talk with me. Y'all, please make sure y'all check out Beauty in Black, #1 on Netflix.
And in 53 countries.
Okay.
53 countries of Netflix. It's #1 in South Africa. I wish I had the little list. In South Africa.
Listen.
We've been I watched little clips of the show in different languages, and it's really kind of, it's like, just try it. Just click on finding it in another language and look at something, and it's like, ooh, it's interesting. You find nuances that you didn't see before because now the words have changed.
Yeah.
And because it's in a different language, now you focus really on the faces and the actions, and it's a whole different trip. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, y'all definitely make sure y'all check it out. I'm gonna warn y'all, it's definitely rated MA. So
Yeah.
like take that rating seriously.
Yeah.
So if you
Take
can't
it seriously.
take it very seriously. So if you can't handle that type of material, then you might want to steer clear. But if you feel like you can handle it, it's like I said, overall, it's an interesting show, and it's going to make you want to find out what happens next. Because like I said,
Right.
I am ready for part 2. I need part 2, and
yeah, and that's what everybody's saying. Everybody's mad. Why do we have to wait? Well, I don't want to wait. People, I don't want to wait. So, but listen, the wait is going to be worth it. Carlton, thank you so much.
Thank you
for acknowledging me and having me on your show, and for doing the work that you do, for giving opportunities for actors, for young artists, for people who want to do this work. And you're not a person who is going to take advantage of them. You're going to give them the information. You're going to help them prosper, even like you poured into Nick and giving Nick stuff. So I appreciate what you do. I appreciate how you're creating more artists through your artistry.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. I definitely appreciate that for sure. Thank you. All right, everybody. That is it. Thank y'all so much again for tuning in, for watching. Thank you again to Ms. Robinson for taking the time out to be a part of my world. And until next time, this is Carlton, and this is Carlton's World. Peace.
It's Carlton's World.
Come on, theme song.
It's Carlton's World.
Carlton.
Carlton's World.
Yes.